Hello and welcome to Pure Live. It is Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And we have awesome guests today. If you've been paying attention, if you're following me, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yes, indeed, I will introduce them shortly. But if you've been watching the show, you know what we do. We start with our sponsors. So here we go. All right, all right. Now, you guys that have been paying attention to the show, you know I'm always talking about how great they are. They're a wonderful organization, and they assisted in helping me get this show up and running. And so many people from the organization have been right on the show. Wonderful group that you need to be involved with. I'm trying to tell you, if you want to get things going, you need organizational skills, you need some support. You need to check this organization out. And want to point your attention to Abella Eyewear. If you want some fresh shades and some blue blockers, you can go to my website, asiajamal.com or asiajamal.net. I own them both. And you can see Abella Eyewear and you will get 30% off. You're welcome. So we're going to go and get things started with our special guest for today. And we have doctors Aaron and Margaret Jamal.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having us. How you
Yeah.
doing?
Glad to be on
Thank
the
you for
show.
being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
So, you guys know who these wonderful, lovely people are. These are not only my producers, but they are my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Wonderfully gifted individuals, and you guys are going to have a unique view into who they are. We don't really talk about that before any other time that they have been on the show. So, again, you're welcome.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So, please, for all of those that are watching and listening, introduce yourselves.
Okay. Well, this is my husband. He's Dr. Aaron Jamal.
This is my blessing. This is Dr. Margaret Jamal.
That's right. That's right. And for people who wonder where we got the doctors from, because some people ask, he has a doctorate in Christian counseling and addictions.
Mhm.
And mine is also in counseling and in human services.
All
And we
right.
also have, right, we're also certified in pastoral counseling as well.
Look at you, all gifted and talented and stuff and
Gifted
certified.
black.
Certified. Mhm.
Certified. All
That's right.
right. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning of your stories. Please tell us, one at a time, of course. Where are you from? Let's start with Dr. Aaron Jamal first.
Both of us are actually from Chicago. Blessed to have that influence of the Windy City.
Yes.
The I would say the wonderful thing about the era that we actually met and came together, Chicago was thriving as far as music was concerned, and a lot of places that you could go and see really good talent. We were blessed enough. I was touring the city with the band that I was
Masterpiece.
leading and writing and singing in with Masterpiece. Yeah. And in that particular setting up. We were fortunate enough. No, I'm getting up more into when we met than just me.
Yeah,
So
let's start from the beginning, sir. Please and
okay
thank
then.
you.
Oh, where
All
are
right
you
then.
from? Okay. So he's mostly from the South Side by the time we met. And I'm West Side, right? So
What?
we like, we came together, right? The
Came
UN
together.
together.
So,
Yeah.
so for those of you guys that don't know, because I know you Chicagoans, you understand, but South Side and West Side is different.
It's
It may
very different. We're
right,
multicultural.
right.
Right.
Maybe the same
We're a
city, but
mixed
it's
couple.
maybe the same city, but it is not the same kind of people. It is
That's right.
not.
That's right. That's right.
So what I'm wondering, so okay, back it up. Dr. Aaron Jamal, did you come from a big family, small family? Where do you come
Huge
from?
family. Huge
How
family.
huge?
Try 8 sisters, 3 brothers.
Oh, that's all. Oh,
Huge. It
that's
was
Just 12.
all.
12,
Just
just
That's
about a
12.
dozen.
Just
just
12.
12. Just 12 of you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Baby
that's a
boy.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hear that? He's baby boy,
Mm-hmm.
and they still
Mm-hmm.
call you that, right?
Yeah, some of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some titles never go away,
Hmm.
right? Hey, family.
Hey, fam.
It's a family affair.
Boy.
Hi,
These are
Eliza.
the baby boys.
I know, right? Good
Baby
man.
boy
Good
and baby
man.
boy.
Mm-hmm. Thank
so,
you.
Dr. Margaret Jamal, what did you grow up with?
West Side, as I indicated, West Side. We lived in over by well, no, we can't call it that. What do we call it? Roosevelt over there. I went to Medill Grammar School. We used to live in the projects for a while where they had, dogs and all that kind of stuff. And then,
What
Hi,
is that?
yeah,
Shadiana. Wow. No.
lived in Michigan. Hey, Shadiana. How you doing, Char?
Okay.
Good to see everybody. And yeah, so I was mostly on the west side. We lived my brother and I lived in Michigan for a minute too.
Where
We
did
lived
you
on a
say?
farm. We
Mm.
farmed and I made my money that way.
Hmm.
Went to school, grammar school, then came back, still on
Mm.
the west side.
You
And
said you made your money that way. What you mean?
that's right. I used to work on the farm. I used to pick berries and cherries and
And you got
clean
paid for that?
vegetables. Yeah, I got paid. I got paid 10
Oh,
cents an
okay.
hour. Back then, it was a lot of money. I'm telling you. And we would go to the five and dime store and spend all the money. Or
That's
yeah,
adorable.
indeed.
Okay.
Wow. Now this
I
is
had
really
good work
interesting.
ethic. Yeah,
Amen. And you still do. This is really
praise the
interesting
Lord.
because we got a little country with very city over
That's
here.
right.
Hmm.
I'm definitely country, much
Hmm.
more country, and he's bougie. I'm
No, you could not. Oh my
bougie.
goodness.
I mean, but in a nice
I
way.
said he's city, and she said he's bougie.
In a
I
nice
see. I
way.
tried. I tried to say city
Well,
too,
you should hear him. He calls me country. He say, "Uh oh, that
but
country's coming
but
out."
but you are. But
Indeed, that's right. Thank God I'm a country girl. Yeah.
so, what I want to know. So, first of all, for those of you that don't know, and if you don't know, you don't follow me. Uh, but for those of you that don't know, we are a whole musical family.
Hmm.
On both sides here. Both Dr.
Hmm.
Aaron and Dr. Margaret Jamal, they're both musically inclined. And they have musical background. They wrote like even deeper than them on both sides, right?
Hmm.
Like so,
Absolutely.
Yes,
of course,
it's
it
a
had to
blessing.
land on the rest of the family, right?
That's
So
our language.
Hmm.
that's our language. That's what we
That's our
speak. We speak
language.
music, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So what I would like to know, bring it back to Dr. Aaron
Hmm.
Jamal. What where did that come from? Where does your musical roots come from?
Well, I was blessed enough to be well. My aunt, Abby Lincoln, was incredibly influential because we were so just incredible in awe of her and her incredible talent. Of course, her husband, my uncle, Max Roach was also incredible talent as well. So I was very much intrigued with what it is that they brought to the table and figured I gotta have some of that. And so initially I wanted to play drums like Uncle Max, but my mother wasn't having any of that for some reason. And she didn't let me get into the drums. So out of frustration, really, and the fact that we had a piano in the house, I started playing piano. Um, and blessed enough to having my oldest sister actually made certain that there was a piano in the house all the time. So even when it is that we left one house and went to another one where there wasn't a piano, my older sister Margaret actually bought another piano for the family. And so there was always keys around, and I was blessed enough to actually get started on that, and the rest is history. You know.
Wow, wow. Speaking of drums, Dr. Margaret Jamal. Want to tell about your want to tell about your
Yes,
musical background?
that's right. I used to play drums. I took drum lessons. I always wanted to play drums.
Wow.
And before then, in school, when they would have us learn instruments, I was a percussion type person. I
Mhm.
played the
Hmm.
xylophone, the kalimbas, bongos, congas. I like that rhythm, like to beat on things and stuff too. So I
Things, not
still do.
people.
No,
Things.
that's right. In fact, when we're driving, I'll be playing my drums and stuff like that. I like
Wow.
that. People sometimes, but not anymore. Not since I've been set free.
She said, I've been delivered.
I've been delivered. I've been set free. I love people now.
You didn't love people then.
Not when, not before the Lord. I tell the
That's
truth.
so funny. I never even
Shame the
imagined that.
devil.
When I found out that you play the drums, and you said you played the drums in a what kind of band?
Rock band. I was a
Rock.
rock. I was a rock musician as well. I led a rock band in Kentucky,
Mhm.
and I like all kinds of music. To
Mhm.
tell the truth, and so that was it. When we met, I was a drummer, and I thought I was going to be playing drums with him, but he retired me for a drum machine.
Well, actually, she
Oh.
was introduced as a singer,
Right.
and we weren't in need of a drummer because we already had one.
Yeah, but then when we
Um,
got our band together, you still didn't let me play drums. I did
because
play drums a few times though. With Tony Smith, let me play.
what we discovered is that she is an incredibly awesome front person because she has this incredible personality that just
Aw.
engages people and causes people to have a wonderful time. And the last thing in the world I wanted to do was to put all that talent sitting behind a set of drums,
You see how he
and they
fixed
couldn't
that?
tell
You see how he did
He
that?
did that. He did that.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I get that, and you're absolutely right. She is very gifted in that
Oh,
area,
bless your
and
heart. Praise the Lord.
I am
Thank you.
so happy that we got to experience that.
Hmm.
So, um, how exactly did you meet?
Well,
Mm.
we were doing. I had come up with I'd done a world tour with Commodores and Emotions, and had come back to finish an album project that I was already starting on with Masterpiece. And
Did
that
y'all hear
particular
how he glossed
project
over that?
I know,
was
right? With
Like,
like
wait a
was
minute,
the
I was
the
just telling
Commodores
you
and
about the
the
Commodores and
emotions
the
and the people
just
like
well.
that.
glossed
You
over
asked
that like
me.
that was
Okay,
nothing.
I'm just trying to get to this. You said, "How do we meet?" You didn't say how. So I'm not.
He
I know.
he's
I'm
giving you
messing
the
with you.
backdrop,
I know.
Okay.
I'm messing
Yeah.
because yes, I'm just saying there's
Okay.
but
some
he's
name
like
drops.
that. He's like that, right?
I know, so
I know.
humble.
I
Some
know.
name drops.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway,
Hmm.
we had finished the album, and we were trying to do some local promotion for the album because it wasn't on a major label. It was just a local label that we were on, and we were trying to get some feedback as well from, you want your hometown people to let you know what's going on. And we did have a following that would tell us, which songs it is they preferred and so on. So we were doing a tour, not just the originals, but the originals and some cover as well. And while we were doing this, we ended up in a kind of a dinner show type of atmosphere where, one side of the place you get a nice little dinner, and the next side you come over there and then you get a nice show. So it was a good showcase place because it was kind of intimate and you could get like really close to people. And while we were actually setting up, we were taking the equipment into the place to, get everything set up for the show. I caught, on the side of my eye, this little couple that was sitting together, and one of them was incredible. Well, I mean, from a distance, it was a little couple. Okay?
You know,
We
you
were
was
just
throwing a
moving
little
equipment. We wasn't
shade.
that close to them. You know what I'm saying?
Throwing a little shade. Okay,
But
go ahead.
anyway, the couple was over there, and I caught her. She looked gorgeous. It's like, oh my goodness, look at this beautiful woman over there. But again, I'm trying to be respectful of the fact that she wasn't by herself anyway, and
I was
supposed to be focusing on setting up. So rather than to, you know, get too distracted, we went on and set up, and then we did sound check, and as we finished sound check and began to start the show, just as we were starting the show, her date brought her over to our side.
No, not when you were starting the show, because I had already seen you sing before he brought you. This was during your break.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just fixing it up there.
Okay. Then.
This was
All
during the break, because I had already gotten.
Oh, I thought you saw us doing the sound check.
Oh, I gotten drawn in and
okay.
saw you do your thing and had that smooth voice and was playing the piano. And I'm like, they are so talented. I was so impressed. Young and gifted playing jazz. The music sounded great. The sound was great. And I was like, this is so, and I needed it. I was coming out of some situation not so good. And so this friend had taken me out and said, this is what you need. You need a break. Mm-hmm. And so he got me to do it. And I came out and it just felt good. The music felt good. And I couldn't help but look at him. And he looked good to me too. And then when we met, my date introduced us. And,
but hold up, back up.
Oh,
okay. She said she was looking at me.
Oh, looking.
Right. She was sitting right in front of me.
I was in front.
The guy brought her right in front.
Right in front. It was destiny.
He practically delivered her to you.
I could smell him. It was no, for real. Back then, you could smell him. He used to wear this concoction that he made up, and when he walked by. And I know people that know him know what I'm talking about. If they've listened to this, when he walked by, you could smell him, and it's like nothing. It's his own invention, right?
Okay, it was an oil, so it wasn't like that.
I said, "Oh, he smells good."
Okay.
Okay, continue.
All right. Anyway, because of the content of most of the lyrics, and at that particular time I sang most of the songs, and most of the songs that I sang were oriented to be love songs, right? It's kind of hard to sing a bunch of love songs and you got a beautiful woman sitting right in front of you to ignore her. But I tried to be respectful and did not I get up all in her face and all that kind of stuff. I just tried to sing past her at times, but then the show was over, and when the set was over, people were like really, really, really nice, and some wanted to meet us and talk to us, and so I had gone, on the other side to actually meet folks and whatnot, and her date brought her to me.
Right.
And again, I was trying to be respectful, right? I've been respectful all night, but then he brings her right to me and introduces her as a singer, not a drummer.
Right.
He says, I'd like you to meet.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to take over.
All right.
So he introduces me, and then your dad says, we're working on an album project, and we were looking for some singers. I'm like, really? And would you like to audition? This is what he said. Right? I just came out of a band, and I'm like, I want to audition. I really just want to, I want to audition, and I want to audition and sing with him. Maybe. Okay. And so he gives me this card, Asia. And on this card, he has like about 15 different phone numbers on it. Right. And
She's exaggerating.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, which one do I call? And he says, just call, and I'll give you a call. I gave him my phone, our information, my date, had us exchange. Asia, he did not call me.
Oh.
So I have this card. I'm waiting. And I'm like, is he for real? Whatever. He didn't call
Hmm.
me. So I decided to call him because I really wanted that opportunity. So I'm
Hmm.
going through the phone numbers that he gives me, and most of them didn't work. So I finally got to the numbers, and I finally got him, and I was asking him, "What's up?" And he said, "Oh, I was gonna call you." And blah blah blah, and then we're talking, and he says, "So when you have some free time?" So I get there, fast forward, I finally do audition, and now I'm close to him. And
Ooh.
boy, he really, really smelled good. That's the one thing that I really remember. And the other thing, Asia, that really caught my attention, that I really liked about him, not only he smelled good, he dressed good, but his hands.
His
When
hands
he
lit.
played, when I saw him play the piano, I looked at his hands. I just love his hand. Look at his hand. Have you
Come on,
ever
stop,
paid
stop,
attention to
stop.
his
Come
hand?
on,
He's
I
like, come on
really
now.
liked his hands. I don't
come
know.
on,
I don't
come
know.
on
It's
now.
not like I have a
Hmm.
thing for hands, but to me, he had the most beautiful hands
You don't?
that I've seen on a
Oh,
man.
I can't
But
tell.
anyway,
Uh,
then he asked if we can go out. We went out on a date and we talked and we just got to know each other. We sang,
Mhm.
and he said I could be on his album and I was going to sing with him. But
mm,
really, at that point, I was just really attracted to him. We asked each other questions, and he had told me something. We talked about our past, and he had said something about that he didn't. He something about Taurus women, and that he would never
mm.
go out with a Taurus woman anymore. And
A
then he's asking me,
Taurus woman.
"And what sign are you?" I'm like, Taurus. He's like, "Oh, okay." So, how's that gonna work? So, but we still gave each other chances. So that's how we met.
Mm.
And, the rest of it, we just kept doing things together and musically. And, there were things in between, but that is really how we met. And we really did click very well. And
Hi,
we
Minister
like being around
Robin.
each other. Hey, hey, Minister Robin. Hey,
Mhm.
Okay, so actually, it was yeah,
that took a long time, didn't it?
it was, and she did give you some good details and stuff or whatever. But there was another side of that. Again, how much of this do you really want me to get into?
Yeah, you want us to move on because we could tell you this stuff later.
Okay, so give me a
It's
couple
probably
more
more
minutes
interesting to
worth.
you.
Couple
Couple
more
minutes.
minutes. Yes.
Okay, so actually, when we were sitting down, and even before this that we met, I had a eventful, I'll put it that way, eventful life
Hey,
of meeting people and actually um, had reached a point when I wanted something deeper, something that I was able to feel better about. I wasn't really a Christian at that point, but I did believe in God. And so I found myself reaching out to God and actually asking for mercy and forgiveness, and asked Him that He would actually bring me somebody that would be a better match for me to share the things that I believed He had called me to do, but I wanted to do them together. Okay. And as we
Mm.
were when we got together, I didn't know it initially, but it wasn't very long after that we met that through our talking and sharing or whatever, I was pretty convinced that she was an answer to that prayer.
and I
Okay.
And
was
so,
scared because I
because I believed
I
it,
was already married,
yeah,
and I wasn't looking forward to getting married
yeah, we
again.
both had relationships, but
Mm.
still, I was pretty confident. I was confident enough that
Very
I actually
confident.
did tell her one of those times early on when we were sitting together that I believed she was the answer to my prayer, and we were going to get married, and really she didn't have anything to say about it.
Oh.
It that was going to happen.
And that was pretty a unique way. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, this is the way it is, and deal with
Yeah,
it.
that we're
Well,
going
if
to
you
get
believe that
married.
God has actually answered your prayer, right, it wouldn't be contingent on whether or not they went along with it or not. It would mean that it's going to happen because God answered the prayer.
Now the funny thing about it is, how our family is. We got this big family. They met. Fast forward, right? Mother met him. They gave him the once over, right? And they're like, they meet him, they meet me, they see us as the odd couple again, with side by side. So different, clashing. They say they will not last a year.
Yeah,
Mm.
they did say that.
They did, didn't they?
Mhm.
After we
Mm.
were a year, they said, let's see if they can last for 2 years. And then they kept challenging us.
All the way up to 7 years.
Yep,
Yeah.
that for 7 years they kept saying, I wonder if they people thought that we weren't going to laugh because we were so,
Yeah.
they thought
Different.
that we were so different. And he, very strong personalities.
Mhm.
And we would get into it too. We would have some really heated discussions.
Oh yeah,
But
very
the thing
strong.
is that I do believe that when God brings you together and you submit to God,
Mhm.
then even you can't mess that up.
Mhm.
Did you hear
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Amen and amen.
Yeah, yeah,
I see, Pastor Ray.
yeah, yeah. See,
See.
that's what happens.
Mhm.
And there. I mean, I'm glad that we did not break up.
Me
But
Well,
there,
too.
there was this time. I got to tell
Right
you
here.
about this time though.
okay.
So
Yeah.
Asia, before then, just real briefly, I don't know what it was, and Mother had told him about it. It's like every year I would get this thing where I just had to leave. I would
Mm.
just, it's like I had a season where I just ran away, right? And
Mhm.
I would go. I lived different places. I'd end up in Indiana. One time I ended up in Canada. I would just drive away. And so at this particular time when we were together, and we were talking about something. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was like, okay, it's time. I'm getting out of here. And so at this time, we had had an argument, and I'm getting ready to get in the car, and he follows me, and I said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I need to get away," and he said, "Well, I'm going with you." I said, "How you gonna go with me when I'm trying to get away?" And he said, "I'm not gonna bother you, but I'm not gonna let you go by yourself." And he gets in the back seat of the car while I'm running away. So I'm running away with an escort,
Hey.
right? So, love you. So the interesting thing about this, though, Asia, is that one of the places that I would drive to is the beach.
Hmm.
And so I had my little clock because sometimes I fall asleep and I'd, put on the alarm for it. And I
Okay.
was there and I'm trying to cool out and I'm still thinking, he's still with me. I'm trying to run away. And I'm kind of nodding off. And next thing, Asia, I hear something, my car door, right? And there's this big man pulling on the car door. And I look up and I'm like, what are you doing? And that didn't stop him. It was like he was pulling on the door, trying to get in.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, what? And then your dad woke up in the back seat. Apparently, the guy didn't see him.
Hmm.
And then he said, hey, what are you doing? Like that. He scared the guy. The guy looked at him, looked at me, and then he slowly walked off.
Mm. See, he needed to be there.
He needed to be there. I mean, and
Mhm.
that was like, whoa. I'm
Mhm.
like, that was a blessing. And I wasn't saved
Mhm.
then, but I'm like, that was very fortunate. I was like, what could have happened if I had been
Mhm.
asleep or if I had been there by myself? All the time that I had done this in the past, Asia, nothing had happened. I hadn't had
Mm.
any run-ins like that. Not like that when I, ran away by myself. I had other
Right.
stuff that happened with people I knew,
Yeah.
but I just thought that I'm like, there's something about this. He's supposed to be there for me. That was a
Mhm.
little, nudge that I had right there.
I hear that.
Yeah,
And
there were other situations too, but I just felt like sharing that with you.
so
It
I'm
just seemed
going.
like we were supposed to be together.
Now look at this.
Hmm.
Who that couple?
Who
Who
that? Who that woman? Who that woman with that
that
man
was?
showing all that
Like,
imitation cleavage?
she said imitation.
What are you talking about?
you know,
She said imitation.
no. What I'm saying is, it was low cut. It was, you know,
I don't know what she
I'll just
talking
like
about. I don't know what she talking about.
I'm saying, I've been set free.
Uh, yeah, she said.
Yeah,
Ooh, Jesus. Okay.
indeed. We all had our chests out back then. Huh?
and you guys, they have been together,
Yeah.
doing things together ever since. Like everything together. This is an
Yeah, we do.
abnormal situation. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like they don't just love each other; they like each other. You
Oh
That's
feel
right.
yeah.
For real.
I like this guy.
For real.
It's pretty
me?
That's
cool.
what
So
that's
He
what makes
cracks me up.
I got a little special treat, and I was given permission by Dr. Margaret Jamal, my mother, to play this, and I pulled it up while we were talking. So you know that album cover I showed you? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that one of those songs that was on that album. I got it. So y'all ready?
Mhm.
Y'all ready to hear this music?
Oh, you
We
got
got
the song. She got the music.
side by side.
Okay.
That's how we ought to be. Side by side.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play this, and then we're gonna talk about it further after these messages. All right, here we go.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I didn't know.
I know you're
That's cool.
I know. You surprised us. I didn't know you were gonna play that.
I
I
hope
told you.
so too.
By the way, that person is all the way in the UK. You international.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go. That's one bought somebody bought it. Huh?
Okay. Oh,
Darling, darling, darling. That's us. That's our story. That was
mhm,
actually the lyrics. If you pay attention to the lyrics, that's our story.
I'm
mhm,
saying that was straight up prophetic.
Yeah,
mhm.
indeed, indeed. Yeah, we had a good time. And it was produced by Paul Richmond.
Yeah.
He produced
But
that, and
you, Paul
Tony
Richmond?
Perkins played the sax.
No, not
Hey,
Tony.
oh, not
He's,
what's
Oh.
this?
he's Perkins. But it's okay.
Tony
It's okay.
Perkins. Hey, thank
It's all
you.
good. It's all good. Praise
Thank
the Lord.
you. We're
Praise the Lord.
fans.
But hey,
Yes, and this was
Love you.
before auto tune. I'm just trying to tell y'all, like they was that was the voice. You understand?
oh yeah, yeah. Wasn't
Oh
no
yeah,
auto
they
tune
did.
Okay,
back then.
Oh yeah, and
We-
and you talk about perfectionists too. We had to do it till we did it.
right. So, okay, before we dig deeper and we're gonna get into this, why they are on the show today, we're gonna take a little break. All right. But for
okay.
those of you that are on YouTube, this is what I want you to do.
What? Check it out.
Subscribe. Thank
All right, all
you.
right. Yeah,
And if
subscribe.
and if you are on any other platform, follow me. Okay, you never know what you're gonna get. And go on my website, ajamal.com or ajamal.net. I give away things sometimes. I tell you stuff that you won't see on the show. Get up with the program, okay? Hi, Tina.
Hey
Hey,
Tina.
Tina, that's our little lady.
Hello.
That's our baby
That's
Tina.
our
All
other
right,
daughter.
I
the family.
know. She calls
Okay,
us
okay.
Mama Jam and Daddy Jam, Papa
Mhm.
Jam.
All right, y'all.
Hey,
And
Tina.
so real quick, we're gonna play a commercial and then we're gonna play a trailer and then we're gonna get back into the program. All right. Here we go. Another one of my sponsors.
Yeah, because you're gonna learn. You need to guess, see how well you know us. With what
Yes,
you're gonna
because
share in a
after
little bit.
after this break, we are definitely gonna do find the fake. And my producer started that, right? Okay, all right. Okay. So here we go. Hi, I'm Asia Jamal Rogers, and I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer, voice actor, and I'm the creator and talk show host of Pure Live. Pure is an acronym for perfectly undefined raw elegance. So naturally, we want our content to be pure, raw, and elegant. It airs live every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you'd like to see all of the episodes, you can reach it at asiajamal.com, ASIAJAMAL.com. Or if you'd like to be on the show, you can reach me at asia@asiajamal.com. Hope to see you soon.
And drums.
Mhm.
Hope to see you soon.
And that's right.
And I am looking for
AsiaJamal.com.
more guests for the show. We deal with all kinds of backgrounds. So holla at your girl, Asia at AsiaJamal.com. All right. Okay.
All right.
I
Um,
just want to say I appreciate what you're doing too. We get to meet so many interesting people
Hmm.
on your show. It's just really good to know that these people exist and what they're doing with their lives. It's like we meet new friends
And you're giving a
that we don't
voice.
know that you're
Yeah.
giving voice to. Yeah, it was great.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I see you, Tina. She says, Mama, Daddy
No.
Jam.
There
That's
you
right.
go. There you go.
That's right.
All right,
Love you
so
too.
ladies and gentlemen, we're about to play that game, Find the Fake. And the object of the game is what you're supposed to do is pay attention to all of the statements and decide on your own which one you think is the fake. If you guess correctly, then you can win a prize. So the prize is that
It's
I'm
about
giving
us
away
now.
the prizes that I'm giving away. So, in the beginning of the show, I introduced to you Dreamers. I am giving away a free ticket for Dreamers to their upcoming seminar, which they give away prizes and all kinds of wonderful things.
Ooh,
I am sponsoring that, as well as if you would like a gift of a Bella Eyewear,
ooh.
I will give away that as well. And we have pure live gear.
Mm,
Ooh,
nice.
nice, nice. Okay.
Ooh,
I want to
represent
come.
it. All right. So pay close attention to the statements at hand. Here we go.
It's about us.
It's about them.
See
Not
my
about
friends.
me, about them. Here we go.
Okay.
Uh y'all,
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
I told you. I was
These
like,
are
let's
my
do one of
parents. And I don't know. I'm looking at these. I was like, what?
See, you see, you
Mhm.
don't know everything.
I don't know the answer. Okay, all right. Well, y'all put your answers in. You got a little time before the show is over with. Okay, all right. Pastor Ray got his answer in. Oprah Winfrey show. He thinks that's one is the fake. Okay, like legit. I no joke. I have no idea. Okay, so moving it right along, and you have time. You have time to go ahead and guess. So please go ahead, put your guesses in because we don't have that much time left. All right, let's fast forward till now. Here we go. We got Doctors Aaron and Margaret Jamal. They're a couple. They're married and then side by side. Well, prophetic as it is, okay? Because they have been side by side ever since. Amen.
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 Okay, so uh
Going on
oh,
40
okay.
years.
Tina said MTV is the fake. Just guessing. Okay, we shall say. Okay, so how do we get to here? So the name of this episode is Friends of Your Marriage. You
Mm.
guys have oh, Robin's trying to guess Disney Cruise. Okay, all right, Disney Cruise. So you guys, you have this ministry now. And first of all, let me give you guys disclaimer. As perfect as they seem, they're not perfect. They're perfect to me because issues are not. They like each other. Like they're always around each other. Like they don't just love each other, they like each other. Like weird. But they're around each other all the time. Okay. Like abnormally so. So we have this
Wait a
ministry.
minute.
You know
She,
it's
now the
abnormal.
truth is coming
Well,
out.
how
I'm
she
trying to
knows
tell
the
you,
same
it is
thing is
abnormal.
extraordinary.
So,
Oh.
it's extraordinary. So you have your organization and what you call I Do Me Too, and your ministry, Friends of Your Marriage. Can you break that
Yes.
down? What is that?
Well, what we believe is that it's important for marriage. Okay, let me do it the opposite.
No, let's see
With
where it
race,
came
we
out of.
say, what is the problem? One of the things that we dealt
Mhm.
with as far as marriage is
Okay.
concerned, and as far as race is concerned, we encourage people to specifically point to a problem and then deal with the solutions. And one of the things that we found, even with counseling couples and people who even get to the point where they're going to divorce, is that they tend to have help. People don't usually leave their
Mhm.
marriage in an island or isolated. There
Mhm.
was somebody else whispering in their ear that was in agreement with them that, yeah, you shouldn't do that thing. You should move on, right?
Mhm.
It's always with help. And so turn that around. What if instead of you getting help to get divorced or to get out of the marriage, you got help with people that encouraged you to stay and fight for your marriage, that you
Mhm.
can overcome whatever the obstacles are. You need
Mhm.
friends of your marriage. And
So
so that's part of it. Go
So let
ahead.
me. This was actually birthed, I
Mhm,
believe, out of the. We married a number of people, and in the wedding ceremony, we
mhm,
would in fact let everybody there to recognize you were invited here for a reason. You are witnessing these vows, okay,
mhm,
and you need to not only hold them accountable, but you need to help them with what it is that they're saying that this is
mhm,
about unto the
mhm,
Lord, and what it is that they're saying before you.
mhm,
So again, you are to be friends of their marriage.
mhm.
Okay, you were invited here for a reason. You got work to do. Okay,
That's right.
and so this was part of that. This was birthed out of that whole scenario, so that we had people that were actually going to help you when it is. And that's the reality of it is when you're bringing strong personalities together, there's going to be some type of contrast. Okay,
Yes.
even if it's not conflict, it's going to be contrast where people are, hey, I like it this way, I like it that way. And so sometimes it gets to the point that the contrast is so difficult that you actually need somebody to remind you, wait a minute now, this
Mhm.
is this is the one that you said was it for you.
You made a
You
promise.
said that y'all were going to do this till death do you part. Come on.
We gave you
Uh,
gifts and everything.
yeah.
We were a part of, we're all witnesses of this.
Yes. Yes.
And so we're invested in that. And so actually, your dad is the one who had started doing that. He started challenging the people who came to the wedding
Mhm.
to say,
Mm.
you're all invested into this. You all have to encourage them in this. You're witnesses, you're friends, and this is a family thing, right?
Mm.
And so you need to be supportive of them when they have those challenges and everything. Remind them of this day. Remind them of why they got married.
Right.
And so one
And
of
what
the
you witnessed them hearing them say.
and what
But
you witnessed hearing them say that.
that's so important because so
Mhm.
so often couples forget the vows.
And
You
forget
know.
why they did it in the first place.
Hmm.
And so
Mm.
that's one of the things that we encourage people is to remember what you promised, why you did what you did,
And rehearse it.
and rehearse the good things. And
Hmm.
remember, that person is still there. The person that you married is still there, even though you're changing and you're developing and you're growing. And love, you when you love someone, you can work through those difficulties.
Yes, you can.
So we had a program that was called I Do
Me
Me
too.
Too, right? I do me too. And so I do me and the number two,
Yes.
representing, us two together. And we had done that for a while, Blog Talk Radio, where we were just encouraging people to get married. And I'm not just get married, I'm sorry, to stay
To
married,
stay married.
to
There you go.
value your marriage.
Yes.
And it was not just for them, but it was for us too.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, we went through some struggles, we went through
Mhm.
situations. And though your dad is very tenacious, he was like, no, we're going to stick with this. You might not like me, but we're going to be married. And just stuff. And
Early in the relationship, very early in our relationship, divorce was taken off the table.
yep,
Period. It was like
he
we
took it
yeah.
off the table early in the relationship. I didn't take it off that
He said that's what you.
quickly, but after I knew the Lord, right? When all I had to see was that God hates divorce. That was enough for me.
Mm.
I mean, I got saved for real. in my opinion.
Mm.
And so if God hates divorce, why would I do something that God hates?
Mm.
So then
Mm.
I need help. So if I'm going to be married because God hates divorce, because I'd already been divorced, that was before I got saved. I'm like, I didn't know that back then. But if I'm going to be married, I want to be happy too.
Mhm.
And so
Mm.
it's like, how do we do that? How do we have a happy marriage when at points you don't even like each other,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, and
Mm.
let me say this,
Mm.
and I know what you're saying is true about this being extraordinary in terms of how much time it is that we spend. But
Hmm.
one of the, I would say, the gifts that we have, and we try to share that as well with the other couples that we actually come together with, is that we actually communicate with each other. When I say it's bilateral, it's not me just sitting back and listening to what it is that she has to say, or her sitting back and listening to what I have to say. We converse together. We share.
Hmm.
We are perpetual students. We are always studying. I study me, I study her, I study all kind of stuff so that I can get a better
Study each
understanding of,
other.
yeah, so that we can better understand not only how we can be a help to each other, but how we can be a help to others as well.
Hmm.
And appreciate the fact that God has made us individuals and unique. We're not all the same. We're not even supposed to be the same,
Uh-uh.
but we can be in harmony. We can be on one accord.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things it is that we begun to share with those couples that we work with.
As we learned ourselves, because
Yes.
it wasn't like we were always were amiable in our discussions. When younger, I wanted to be heard and he wanted to be heard, and we would say things like, wait a minute, I gotta say this. And we begin to learn, no, you don't have to say this just right now. But one of the things that we did try, and it's something that we share with couples, is using the cup. And it started with
Mm.
something else, but then we use the cup. So that means whoever has the cup, it's time for that person to talk.
They
Because we
have
were
the
finding that we
floor.
were talking over each other and we weren't listening.
Mhm.
Mm.
And one of the things I added to the cup is like, if while he's talking, like both of us could be long winded, right? Uh,
You
and,
heard that, right?
that's right.
You're
His
witnessing.
wind is longer than mine, though, sometimes. But but I get a little piece of paper, right?
Mhm.
And then I make a note and put it in the cup, right?
Mm.
So for later, so that I
Okay.
could still,
While he's
so he could
talking.
still feel
Okay.
like he's being heard, right?
Okay.
And not like I'm just waiting for him to finish so that, so he can really get my
Right.
full attention. And so we encourage that. The other thing that said we did was we would write things down.
Mhm.
Sometimes there were things that we felt that were better left unsaid, even though we felt it at that time. And there were times when it's like, should we do I have to give him this? And a lot of times
Mm.
after it's over, it's like, no, I'm going to tear this up because I don't really have to say that,
Mhm.
you know?
Mm.
And so
Mm.
those are things that we learned over time.
Yeah, because the reality of it is what you say out your mouth, you can't take it back, right?
Indeed.
But if you write some things
Facts.
down and you got a chance to actually look at it and pray over it, sometimes you realize you needed to get it out, but you didn't necessarily need to share it. And
Exactly.
so we realized that sometimes writing, journaling was a therapy, if you will, to actually reflect and look at ourselves. Because sometimes I look at it just like, oh, okay, no, okay, I didn't see it like that before. Okay, all right,
Mm-hmm.
now that I got it, I'm gonna tear this up. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm done with it. So there's different ways of communicating, and we realize, um, you got your body language, of course, how it is that you're articulating. Both of us, she's not exaggerating there. We can be long-winded.
And
Um,
passionate.
absolutely.
People think we're like
Very.
yelling at each other and everything, but we're really passionate. It's not that we're angry with each other,
No,
but we're just getting our point across.
and both of us majored with communications as well. So I mean, we learned a whole lot about communication as well.
So we kind of toned it back.
Yeah, yeah,
We're better.
Way
more.
back. Way back. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Like
But
I
at the
said.
same time, it's something that I look forward to. I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not just saying this just because she's sitting here. There is no one on this planet that I would rather talk to than her.
Aw.
I
Oh.
really enjoy our sharing, as far
Yeah.
as us talking through things together. And if it is that I got something I'm trying to work through, I don't want to work through it with anybody else more than I do her.
Mhm.
Sometimes she ain't feeling it. I get that. All of us have the times when we get tired. Fatigue happens to everybody, right?
Mhm.
But I know that she's not rejecting me. She's just tired at that particular point.
I'm glad you said that. That was one of the things too that we learned about each other is that we don't reject each other.
Mhm.
Even if I don't feel
Mm.
like it at the time, we'll say, maybe later. But if, we look at each other and care about each
Mhm.
other, love is patient, love is
Mhm.
kind. So, you want to be kind I'm going to be kind to him.
Mhm.
What early on, and I went to this retreat, it said,
Mhm.
Lord, change me. There was a book
Mhm.
by Evelyn Christensen.
Mhm.
And I prayed about it, but I wanted to be the kind of wife that when he was away from me, he's going to say nice things about me
Mhm.
because I left a good
Mm.
impression on him,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I wanted to
Mm.
be the kind of wife that he wanted to return home to,
It
right?
worked.
Mhm.
It worked.
I wanted, and then the thing about it is, if I invest happiness in him, he's going to give it back to me,
Mhm.
right? And so that's it. And so it's like, we feed on each other. And he keeps saying, he says that he prayed for me and he says I'm his blessing. And I'm like, prove it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't say that. I don't say that. But I want to, I really want to feel like a blessing. And think about that. We rehearse the bad things. We're quick to say,
Mm.
you don't spend a lot of time with me, or you don't give me this, or you don't, or I wish you would do this more. How
Mhm.
about complimenting them for the good that they do?
Yes.
And then maybe you'll get more of that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you for making dinner. Thank you for smelling good. Thank you for rubbing my hands, or thank you for rubbing my feet. That is so wonderful. And then you know what else I learned? The things that I had that were challenging to me about him. One is my opinion, and I need to get over myself. But the
Mm.
other thing that if I was really having a difficult time with something, I would pray about it.
Mhm.
I would take it to God instead of trying to change him and tell him, you need to fix this, you know?
Mhm.
So if I didn't like the way he was talking to me, for example, or his attitude, I began to pray about it more so than complain about it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
God
I
has the
do.
bigger ears, right? And
Absolutely.
if I'm saying this and it's causing more friction, then why would I keep saying it?
Mhm.
Right?
Mm. Good
Why
points.
would I
Good
do that? I'm
points.
not getting the outcome that I want. Back to
Right.
race, responsibility, having and demonstrating the ability to get a favorable response.
Mhm.
Give a favorable response. So if I
Mhm.
want favorable, then I'm going to give it. I'm going to teach him
Right.
how to be loving by
Mhm.
my own example. And if I don't know how to do it, now I'm going to pray for God to give me that,
Mhm.
Right.
the attitude that I
So
need.
I need to
I'm sorry.
pause
Go
you for a
ahead.
second.
Okay.
Uh, there's so much wisdom wrapped up in this conversation. God bless you both.
Oh,
Thank you.
praise the
Amen.
Thank
Lord.
you.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
if
Mhm.
you are open, I would really like a part two. Um, because you're giving so much knowledge and so much wisdom when we're at the end of the hour, and
Oh
we
wow.
need more. We need more.
Okay.
So
Well,
if you're open to a part two, we need a part two. In the meantime, I want you guys to know this. They
Mhm.
have their own show.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, they do have a website. I do metoo.org.
Mhm.
And what do they find at that website?
Well, you're going to find the broadcast. You're going to learn more about why we do what we do. You're going to meet our wonderful other hosts that we have.
Mm-hmm.
We are on Tuesday
Part two.
evenings.
All right. Part two.
Part two.
Part two it is.
Well, the
Okay.
thing is, she comes on later. I'm usually asleep by now, to tell the truth. I have to see her reruns
We could do a
because
part two. We could do
We're gonna
uh,
do a part two. We're gonna do a
okay, I
part two.
just need to know ahead of time so I can get my nap in. But
that.
yeah, so we have our other wonderful hosts. So we're there on Tuesday evenings at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time
Mm-hmm.
for an hour. And we have two other couple hosts
Mm-hmm.
that were actually a part of one of our groups that we had launched. And they agreed to host because everybody can't be on Tuesdays.
No, that's
And,
true. That's
different
true.
people have different schedules. So our vision, actually, Asia, is to have just all over, in every nation, all globally, because we found out that there are people that actually tune in to us They're
Oh,
different parts of the world. And so our vision is to have, different hosts at different times so that people who have different schedules can still tune in live. We have live interaction. We have games, couples games. We have Bible study, couples Bible study. And if you go to I Do Me Too, you'll learn more about it. We have the Sloans that are on Monday, 7 o'clock. They're out of North Carolina. And we have the Nichols.
Yeah,
And
tomorrow.
they're Iowa tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock a.m. You go to idometoo.org and you'll do that. And we all have different backgrounds. And we also have the Rudges who are traveling now, and they actually jump
They're
in.
like floaters. And
That's right. They were with us from the very beginning.
Yeah. And
that we launched it.
Come on in and bless us any old time.
Any old time. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what we have. And
But
then people do off support groups too. So for people who want more than the streaming, I'm sorry.
Gotta let her wrap up the show.
Oh, wrap up the show. I'm sorry. You
I do.
me. Why you
see? And this is why this is why I need you guys to come back. So
thank you all.
Real quick for the find the fake.
Okay.
Which one was the fake?
Cruise.
The cruise.
The cruise, the Disney cruise.
I've never been on a cruise at all.
Okay. And so that was what? Minister Robin, you got the cruise? Minister Robin got the cruise.
We did do the MTV. We did do
Oprah.
And we did meet President Obama.
Barack Obama.
Yes, we did.
Wow. My parents are awesome.
No. Only God is awesome. We're all right. We're blessed. Yeah.
Well, he makes us awesome, blessed. So we can be awesome.
Yes.
Our God is an awesome God. You right?
And he made us in his image.
Okay, I got
absolutely
that.
Right. So even though we are after the hour, I give all of my guests the opportunity to leave their words of wisdom. So please, Drs. Aaron and Margaret Jamal, please leave your words of wisdom for our viewers.
My blessing first.
Well, we want to encourage each other, first of all, to love God and to love each other. Always give God the glory and fight for your love. And remember to love each other together forever and 2 days more. And remember to always come in agreement. That's why we say, I do, me too. And that's our words of wisdom. And stay in touch.
The only thing I would add as well is that you remember that the one it is that you've married, the one it is that you're calling yours, God made that person. That's God's gift. Yes. You hold on to that, and you're going to wind up loving that person and seeing that person differently. That's God's gift.
Right. Don't give up on love. Fight for your love. If you have love, you can make it through.
Yes.
Fight the power. All right. And remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. Till next time, we'll be right here Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We